since 1948. The National Wrestling Alliance has historically been the largest sanctioning body in professional wrestling.
Breathe deep, the cooling air, sun setting tonight. You gotta make your mark, load up on the raw intent. One last look in the mirror. They're gonna know your name. Somebody's gonna take a second look. Too cool to choose to ignore any angle. Hypersexual serial beast. Wear it on your sleeve. Hey baby, do you like it kind of rough? Or do you like it smooth like you? Nobody's gonna stop till they drop and they're dreaming. Oh, 4, 3, 2, 1. Into the action. No need for distraction. Slamming down.
I'm Van Avey, and I am standing here with Justin Main. Justin Main, that's right. Justin Main, last time we saw you here in the NWA-CIW, you picked up a phenomenal victory in your debut. Now this time, you're scheduled to face Kris Korvis. I just want to kind of figure out how you prepared for this match.
Well, unlike Kris Korvis, I actually got ready for my match by stretching out and lifting weights and not really staring at myself in the mirror. So I'll tell you, Kris Korvis, tonight, while you're pampering yourself in the bathroom, making sure you have all nice, a nice complexion and nice hair and whatnot, I'm going to be getting ready by sweating, by lifting weights, by actually doing something. So tonight, Kris Korvis, you're going to be facing the 5-star attraction, the Hollywood sensation, and the main event, Justin Main. And I'll tell you what, because I'm ready and you're not, I'll leave you starstruck.
What the hell do you want? We got a problem? That's what I thought. What?
Hi, I'm standing here with Kris Korvis and Dr. Jerry Graham. And Kris...
First of all, we should welcome back Dr. Jerry Graham after a bogus suspension. He's been gone for way too long. So how about you start with that?
Okay. I'm Van Envy, and welcome back, Dr. Jerry Graham.
The pleasure is all yours. I haven't got time to waste my sesquipedalian vocabulary on anything because in just a short time, my man, Kris Korvis, goes to the mat. And in the last month, although I haven't been making appearances due to my suspension from my Angel Bailey, we've been in the gym, we've been bench pressing, we've been running, we've been wrestling, we've been getting this man into top shape. He's not just another pretty face. Neither am I as far as that goes. And tonight, you will see Kris Korvis, a victor.
That's right. Justin Main calls himself the 5-star attraction. The only stars he's going to be seeing are the ones looking up after the 1, 2, 3.
Powerbomb Television, the stars of the NWA Championship International Wrestling. I'm Sean Boomer Bratton, along with Norm Wamer and Lord Grizzly Brown. And I'm not quite sure how long Dr. Jerry Graham was suspended. It seems like he was on a 30-day suspension.
I feel like we're going on a date. It's taking an hour to get ready.
Wow.
Graham always has a zippy one-liner, doesn't he?
Wow.
Where's security?
For what?
This guy back here. Where's security? This guy back here needs to be exited out of the arena.
Pay attention to the match. That's what you get paid for.
Oh,
Nice
Justin
kip
Main,
up.
very quick, yes. Nice reversal on the arm now.
Well, there's no way that Justin Main is intimidated.
No, not at all.
Good move by Kris Korvis there to go to the ropes.
Well, that was a smart move. He was right there, put his feet on the ropes. Those are the things.
That's where he's got it. Kris Korvis is.
Why is he looking at me?
Those are those things Dr. Jerry Graham can do.
Why are you looking at me? I don't have anything to do with it.
I'm just looking for a microphone. I realize you're a nothing. Angel Bailey's behind us. This man is cheating. He's not breaking in time, and she had me barred for 2 months. My attorney's got me back now. So, Miss Bailey, I know you got mad when I wouldn't go out with you, but to take a man's livelihood away, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Well,
he's bucking for a third month, I think.
He is, yeah.
Yep.
Can we make that third month happen now? Justin Main holds on with that headlock. Doesn't let go.
And I think Dr. Graham made it right, called it right, too, right down the middle.
Nice roll through, roll back. Springs forward. Those reversals come out of nowhere. Now into the hammerlock.
Look, he pulled his trunks, and the referee is still not breaking. Okay, good reversal.
Good reversals, yeah, that was nice. Some good chain wrestling right now. Korvis is taking things to a new level, being under the wing of Dr. Jerry Graham and also getting some guidance from Andrew Shane.
You got the best wrestling manager that the whole world has ever seen. A lot of wrestling managers, they look up to Dr. Graham as being the best.
Big drop kick. That caught Kris Korvis right in the face, and Dr. Jerry Graham is going to have none of that because he is the world's most handsome wrestler. What are we going to see here?
Oh, now see, that was dirty. That was dirty. Korvis was talking to his manager and conferring with his manager, and that was a sneak attack.
So what?
Went for the dive to the outside.
Now he's coming after a wrestling manager.
You know that.
And Graham is trying. Oh, this is ridiculous.
Come on.
Graham's trying to hide behind
he's
the ring
attacking
announcer.
a wrestling manager.
Typical Jerry Graham.
Maine's attacking that ring announcer. He's attacking the ring announcer.
What was that all about? I'm going to take care of this man, and he attacked me. Everybody's against me.
You know what? Unfortunately,
Jerry Graham has lost his mind.
But you can't attack.
What little he had of it.
exactly. I've never seen Graham stoop to a new low with that, trying to hide behind the ring announcer. And unfortunately for Justin Main, he fell victim to the trap that was laid out by Dr. Jerry Graham and Kris Korvis. Korvis was just lying in wait for Justin Main to get back into the ring.
Wow, it's dangerous sitting at this table. Norm really on that side and the ring announcer beating people up on this side. This is really dangerous.
Beating people up?
I think it was the other way around.
Didn't you get those cataracts taken care of yet?
Look at that distraction.
Look at this.
Yeah, look at over here.
Look at this,
Chris. What are we looking at?
Dr. Jerry Graham just choking out Justin Main. Ridiculous. Look at him trying to grab for him again.
He was trying to help him up.
Why would he help his
Dr.
opponent?
Graham always tries to help people, no matter whether it's his wrestler or whatever. He's always trying to help people to get better.
Another arrogant cover.
Dr. Jerry Graham is the most unappreciated person in the history of professional wrestling, and it's wrong.
I'd appreciate him more if he got suspended again.
It was so pleasant the last 2 months.
It really was. I mean, Andrew Shane's pretty obnoxious in his own right, but not having Dr. Jerry Graham here? The level of cheating that Kris Korvis will go to now is ridiculous.
I don't see any cheating up there right now. I see good, clean wrestling.
Right now? Just give it another minute, Grizzly. Give it another minute. Korvis really relentless right now. Goes into the corner, perched on the second.
All right, Kris, nice job.
Drop the forearm on the throat, right on top of the cover.
3. I counted 3.
Way to stay impartial, Grizz.
Schoolboy really get him.
Trunks!
No trunks. Wow, big clothesline. Oh, now look at this.
You don't see any of that, Grizzly?
Yeah, Dr. Graham helping him.
Helping him?
He's helping him out.
Yeah, he's helping him by punching him in the face.
Yeah, how's that?
That little girl.
Right, he's helping him by punching him in the face.
Over there.
Just stop it.
Was able to block the Bulldog, threw him off into the corner, comes in.
Nice drop kick.
And Korvis had nowhere to go. Maine's woozy, but he thinks he can mount some offense here.
Wow, big Bulldog.
Takes an incredible amount of balance.
He looks like he's getting ready to go to that foreign object Norm gave him.
What are we going to see here? German suplex.
All right, Kris, nice
Gosh. He might be seriously hurt.
What we've seen from Justin Main, he does a backflip into a kick. He was setting up for that. Korvis caught him, delivered the German suplex, and about broke his neck. He has Justin Main back in the ropes. Main's going to go for a ride. He sends him in. Main spins through, brings him around, suplex. Brainbuster, goes for the cover.
Wow.
And he wasn't able to put him away. I'm sure at this point Justin Main's wondering what he has to do.
What's he looking for? Oh, look at that
There
move.
it is, the backflip into the kick, and he goes for the cover, but look at that, Jerry Graham making sure that Kris Korvis had his foot on the ropes. Korvis was close enough, but Dr. Jerry Graham making sure that he had his foot on the ropes.
He's helped him because he's a little woozy, so he gave him a little hand there, putting his foot out. Doesn't hurt anything.
It's always helping. Now, mistake from Justin Main.
What's Justin Main? He's going after Dr. Graham. He shouldn't be. He's a manager. He better pay attention to Kris Korvis. Oh! Right in the small of the back.
And that backstabber.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's got to be it.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah. And the winner, the world's most handsome wrestler, Kris Korvis, along with Dr. Jerry Graham. Big assist to Dr. Jerry Graham.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Kris Korvis.
And I'm sure Kris Korvis is going to rush to the shower because of his new foe. And look at that. Dr. Jerry Graham is all over Justin Main.
You defend this.
Absolutely. It's only going to make him better. It's only going to make him better, Norm.
That's what it does, is it always makes the other person better.
It's only going to make him better. That's what you call education right there. It's only going to make him better.
Somebody makes Kris better.
I tell you what, Dr. Jerry Graham is glowing at Kris
That's right,
Korvis.
Kris Korvis.
Never
you
saw
got
a
it.
shortcut you didn't take. Never saw a shortcut you didn't take.
Almost as good looking as Dr. Jerry Graham.
If he looked like you, I'd shave my dog's butt and teach him to walk backwards.
The winner of the match is Kris Korvis. All the stars of NWA Championship International Wrestling right here on Powerbomb Television.
Well, listen up, fans. If you would like to raise money for your school, club, or civic organization and see the excitement of NWA Championship Wrestling live in your hometown, then this message is for you. High school athletic departments, sports teams, fire and police departments, JCs, or any group wishing to raise money, then bring the stars of NWA Championship Wrestling to your town for a night of action. Then call Stacy at 517-425-1110. Your fundraising group and the NWA, an unbeatable tag team.
Head Drop Productions is the premier video production company in the Midwest. HDP can help capture any event from sporting events, weddings, commercials, and much, much more. Visit headdropproductions.com for a complete catalog of past wrestling events. DVDs are only $15 shipped anywhere in the continental United States. If you can't make it live, take it home with Head Drop Productions.
The Screen Printing Factory, 2562 Parkway Plaza, Maumee, Ohio, is just off Anthony Wayne Trail in South Detroit. Are you looking for a custom design? We got you covered. Are you looking for a quick turnaround? We've got you covered. Are you looking for a dependable and reliable company? We've got you covered. No hidden charges here at the Screen Printing Factory. From 12 shirts to 1,000 shirts, each order is important to us. So stop in and see Ben or Jason and let them help you build your image. The Screen Printing Factory. We got you covered. Since 1905, Red Wing Shoe Company has been making purpose-built work footwear. The skilled employees in our 3 U.S. factories build over 1.2 million pairs of shoes annually. We are the largest Red Wing shoe dealer in northwestern Ohio with over 2,500 pairs in stock. Since 1982, 3 generations of the Sager family have helped you with your Red Wing shoe purchase. Stop by our newly renovated store at 2122 North Reynolds Road. Shoes and boots that have served generations of hard-working people.
Norm Wamer here, NWA Championship International Wrestling. I'm joined by the franchise, Shane Douglas, and been wanting to catch up for a little while here. And we all know the history, we all know the past. We don't have to rehash all that. But you are back in the National Wrestling Alliance, and with all that being said, I don't know, can you term this as a successful return?
I don't even see it as a return. My take on this is simple, Norm. If I've been nothing in my career, I've been an opportunist. Where's the best place to apply my skills? Where do I have the greatest chance of success? But that, in my head, my career is something that's past tense. I don't harbor ideas of more belts or more main events or being the top dog in the company anymore. Now, I speak as a fan of wrestling now. I've been a lifelong fan of wrestling since I was 5 years old and used to get sent to my bedroom for, jumping off the couch with my brothers and sisters. A great wrestling match, regardless of where it is, I can watch that 24/7. Sadly, I've not seen any great wrestling or very, very little great wrestling in my sport over the last decade or better. I don't like where the sport has gone. When you have the #1 company disallowing their announcers to even use the word wrestling, wrestlers, wrestling ring. Look, if I start a sport and I put shoulder pads and helmets, hip pads and cleats on my players and give them a pigskin or a football, I can call it anything I want, but the fans know it's football. I can call it tiddlywinks, but they know it's not that. It's football. So to me, it's bizarre that the #1 company, or what has traditionally been the #1 company in our sport, has gone to such an outrageous place that you can't even call it wrestling anymore. I don't understand where the negative connotation comes from in that. Then you have the #2 company, only by proxy of the spending, having spent close to $400 million and nothing to show for it. Least of all, a great wrestling product. As I reach this stage in my life, I want to be able to spend the next 5, 50, 150, how many I've got left. I want to be able to sit at home and turn on the television like I did when I was a kid and watch great wrestling. I don't believe I'm going to get that from the WWE. I know I'm not going to get it from TNA. I had hopes with Ring of Honor. I think that's sort of going its route. To me, the NWA had always stood for the company that had the litany of years behind it. It was the wrestling company. Even when the WWF and the NWA were sparring to find that place back in the early 80s, I was the kid that was watching the NWA on cable and barely paying attention to WWF. I wasn't a Hulk Hogan guy, nothing against them. I was a Ric Flair guy. I was the guy that liked the technicians like Harley Race, like Ricky Steamboat, Terry and Dory Funk, the Briscoe brothers, Ric Flair, go down the list of all of them. That's what I want to see back. And as I take a look around the landscape, like I said, I don't believe I'm going to get it from Vince. I know I'm not going to get it from Dixie, as her parents apparently get close to selling the vestiges of what's left of TNA. I want to see something that's wrestling. I want to see two guys competing in the ring, putting on wrestling moves, counter moves, takedowns, competing against each other, not dancing with each other. I could care less if this guy's a dead man coming out of the grave or the world's smartest man with 7 PhDs, the dean. I care if he's a tough guy or not. Is he a athlete or not? Can he wrestle or not? That's what I care about. You know, let's face it, when I turn on professional football, professional boxing, professional baseball, it has nothing to do with this coach is doing this to this coach's wife or dumping concrete in that coach's car. It's this coach's team playing this coach's team and who wins in the end. To me, as an athlete, that's pretty damn compelling enough. I don't need all the smoke and mirrors on top of it.
I'm Van Envy, and I'm standing here with the NWA-CIW heavyweight champion, Sebastian Rose. Tonight, in just moments, you're going to enter the squared circle and face the franchise Shane Douglas.
Franchise, everyone loves it when you come to the ring. Everyone cheers for you. I know you so damn well, franchise. Well, there's one thing I need to find out, and that's exactly where you stand. And the best way for two men to do that is in the ring, and it's happening right now.
Here we go.
Our next match is an NWA Midwest Heavyweight Championship match. The challenger from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 243 pounds, here's the franchise, Shane Douglas.
We're trying to figure out why Andrew Shane is here. It's Powerbomb Television, the stars of NWA Championship International Wrestling, Sean Boomer Bratton, Norm Wamer, Lord Grizzly Brown, and to your left, Norm, it's Andrew Shane.
Well, first of all, this is a match we have absolutely been waiting for.
Yeah.
For the NWA Midwest Heavyweight Championship, the champion Sebastian Rose defending against the franchise Shane Douglas.
It was here on Powerbomb Television that the franchise Shane Douglas said he was coming back to the NWA a decade, 2 decades, when he famously threw the NWA title in the trash. He's back now in the NWA. He loves what we stand for, but Sebastian Rose is uncertain of his intentions.
Well, also we got former PCW Heavyweight Champion Andrew Shane out here with us. What are you doing out here?
I came down just because I have a vast experience with, of course, our champion Sebastian Rose, and I do know Shane Douglas, and I thought I'd come down and help with everything that's going on down here.
Weighing in at 225 pounds,
just keep it
from Bay City, Michigan, he is the reigning NWA Midwest Heavyweight Champion, Sebastian Rose.
The betterment of this show.
Yeah, that's a load.
That hurts, Boomer.
It's the truth. You had us all fooled years ago, Boomer, and it's been all downhill from there.
You know very well I'd rather lose a match than infract upon a rule.
Where have we heard that before? Oh, Dr. Jerry Graham, we've watched what he's done here since he's been back from his suspension.
I'm just saying. And here's our champion, Sebastian Rose. You all should be happy.
Let's just say you haven't exactly been a man of your word.
I'm always a man of my word. I do exactly what I say.
All right. And you talk about two other cold souls. These two guys right here. These two guys right here, as tough as they come as well. Well, these two guys were a tag team, if you remember. After the match, Shane Douglas extended his hand, and we didn't think we were going to get it returned by Sebastian Rose. I don't think Sebastian Rose trusts Shane Douglas.
No, not at all.
Oh, then I don't think either one of them. These two, this is the top of the line right here. This is the top of the line. Well, Shane Douglas, the franchise, has been known to do what it takes to win a title.
He's saying it's changed, though, that his intentions are good. He wants to put the focus back on the sport, the focus back on wrestling, and Sebastian Rose, again, like you had said, Norm, just does not trust him.
I will say, though, that the franchise Shane Douglas has been one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Boy, he certainly has made a mark wherever he has been, and he has been everywhere.
One of the most colorful guys ever been in this business. Former 3-time ECW heavyweight champion, former NWA heavyweight champion. And back in the NWA after a long, long time in a checkered past.
Well, we never thought we would see him back here. I mean, we were all shocked when he came out and grabbed the microphone and said he was back, and almost said he wanted to atone for his mistakes 2 decades ago.
1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. Break it up.
And a clean break from the franchise.
Yes.
I will be honest, though. I'm not sure if Shane Douglas has earned this shot or not, but this is what the fans wanted. They've been bombarding the Facebook page and bombarding the website, really, really wanting this match.
Well, so what we do is we give the fans what they want.
In all honesty, with a pedigree like Shane Douglas, he should get one coming in as quick as anyone because he has a pedigree of a champion, bar none. And there's no one that can dispute that he deserves an opportunity here.
Yeah, there's
absolutely.
Well, I can a little bit though, because if you were an active wrestler, Mr. Shane, and the franchise got a shot before you did, I don't think you'd be too happy about it.
Well, because I deserve the shot first. But besides that, we all know that with the pedigree that Shane Douglas brings to the table, this man deserves a shot against Sebastian Rose, bar none. I don't see any problem with it.
Can't argue with the resume.
But when Andrew Shane's gets all healed up, he should get a title match right away. You know, you can't punish a guy because of his injury. And Andrew Shane will have that gold around his waist again. You can guarantee it. Take it to the bank.
Argue with him when he tells the truth. You just can't argue with Grizz when he tells the truth.
And Andrew, since
I'm waiting for that to happen.
Since we're talking about future title shots and whatnot, when can we expect to see you back? Give us a quick update on your injury.
I have no idea. There's been some issues with the shoulder. We'll just have to see what happens. That's all I can do. I wish I had more solid for you, but it was a traumatic injury, and we'll just have to go and see what happens when it happens.
Well, whether we agree or disagree, and we disagree more often than we agree, the NWA Championship International Wrestling is deeper, better, and more entertaining when Andrew Shane's an active wrestler.
In the ring now.
So I do wish you to be back soon.
Well, I thank you, and much like with Grizz, when you tell the truth, I can't argue with you, Norm.
There you go, Norm.
Well, the truth is closer to you on this end than the other.
Thanks, Norm.
Just call it the way I see it.
I'm sitting here being nice and I get insulted.
Yeah, well, everybody's got to be good for something.
First of all, a friend down there, I got to worry about him attacking me.
Well,
over here, the ring lady, I got to worry about her attacking me.
Nobody's been able.
I get attacked by the champion. Well, I don't know what this has been a.
Well, nobody here has really been able to get the upper hand.
No, it's been back and forth. You think someone might get the advantage? But look at that. Did he go after the knee on that one?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And I don't think that's a bad idea.
Now he's going to work on it.
Sebastian's a smart wrestler. Pick the body part, sticking with it. Obviously, Shane's having a knee issue. He goes right to it. It's a smart thing to do.
You got 2 master ring technicians up there, like Andrew Shane. You got 2 master technicians up there.
And I still feel, though, that even though they've been in there for a handful of minutes now, that we're still in the feeling out process, that this match is still very young. And both wrestlers very careful about what their attacks are right now. And Shane Douglas just writhing in pain. His best bet at this point might be to get into the ropes to maybe force some sort of break, but Sebastian Rose has him in the center, and Rose must have heard me, I guess. Now he's working
look at that.
4 maybe?
Look at the swelling in the left knee of the franchise. That left knee is swollen. Right now you can see it.
Well, it's a spinning toe hold. And Terry Funk, who Shane Douglas will self-proclaim and tell you that he's looked up to, that was a move that Terry Funk got a lot of submissions with.
Well, because you've got to think at this point there's pressure and torque on the knee, the ankle, the foot, as you start to bend that body in ways that it's not meant to be bent.
Well, you're going to have a hard time getting Shane Douglas to submit. So you got to turn it into a figure 4. There it is.
Oh, look at this. Look out. Look out.
Get a submission now.
He's right in the middle of the ring. Right in the center.
In pain.
I'll tell you, man, I don't do the franchisees. That's going to be a long figure 4 right there.
And what he has to watch for is he has to make sure that his shoulders don't inadvertently get counted down for 3, because it's easy to do. You're so focused on that pain in the lower body and breaking the hold, you forget that your shoulders are on the mat.
Well, listen up, fans. If you would like to raise money for your school, club, or civic organization and see the excitement of NWA Championship Wrestling live in your hometown, then this message is for you. High school athletic departments, sports teams, fire and police departments, JCs, or any group wishing to raise money, then bring the stars of NWA Championship Wrestling to your town for a night of action. Then call Stacy at 517-425-1110. Your fundraising group and the NWA, an unbeatable tag team.
The Screen Printing Factory, 2562 Parkway Plaza, Maumee, Ohio, is just off Anthony Wayne Trail in South Detroit. Are you looking for a custom design? We got you covered. Are you looking for a quick turnaround? We've got you covered. Are you looking for a dependable and reliable company? We've got you covered. No hidden charges here at the Screen Printing Factory. From 12 shirts to 1,000 shirts, each order is important to us. So stop in and see Ben or Jason and let them help you build your image. The Screen Printing Factory. We got you covered.
L&B Photography are the official photographers of NWA-CIW, a unique photo studio specializing in maternity, newborn, children, family, senior, and event photography. Hours are by appointment only. Please call 517-270-1220. Located at 200 East Main Street, Hudson, Michigan. We are willing to travel to preserve all your special moments.
Since 1905, Red Wing Shoe Company has been making purpose-built work footwear. The skilled employees in our 3 U.S. factories build over 1.2 million pairs of shoes annually. We are the largest Red Wing shoe dealer in northwestern Ohio, with over 2,500 pairs in stock. Since 1982, 3 generations of the Sager family have helped you with your Red Wing shoe purchase. Stop by our newly renovated store at 2122 North Reynolds Road. Shoes and boots that have served generations of hard-working people.
Yeah, that knee just doubled in size in the last 5 minutes.
And as Sebastian Rose lifts up off the canvas, it puts even more pressure. But now Shane Douglas has gotten a hold of the rope.
Has the damage already been done, though?
No,
that's the
question.
Yeah.
And he certainly held on to that. He used all that 5 count, and he chops away at that leg.
There's no question.
And right now, Sebastian Rose is like a circling bird of prey right now. Man, he's
sitting right on top of that knee. Has it locked up into that vise right now. He can put pressure on the knee. He can continue to put pressure on the ankle and the foot.
They still have Andrew Shane sitting here. Can you explain how excruciating this is?
Well, this is brutal. Having had a couple knee surgeries myself, and I know Shane's been there too. You got picking the knee and continually working on this Japanese grapevine on that knee, and he is twisting and turning on that, and it is absolutely excruciating. But again, with someone with the guile and experience of Shane Douglas, I don't see this being on too long. I mean, I see again broke. He knows how to counter.
And he's working on that right now, trying to get that foot back over, but then Sebastian Rose using his feet to kick the legs of Shane Douglas back into position. Oh, and Sebastian Rose has had enough now. He's going to move into something different and just dropping that knee right down onto that mat. He really wants Grizzly to inflict pain here.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, that figure 4, Tommy Dreamer had that on me several years ago. It not only affects your legs, but your lower back and your abdominal area, too.
And apparently your eyesight.
It just, thanks, Norm. But, yeah, it gets you from, like, the abdomen on down. I mean, the front and back. The abdomen.
I want to hear more about this match with Tommy Dreamer at a later date, but I want to focus on what we're seeing right now in the ring as Sebastian Rose is defending his NWA Midwest Heavyweight title against the franchise Shane Douglas. And again, Douglas now doing whatever he can to break those holds, but the problem is he's fighting from the bottom.
Oh, Sebastian Rose has been relentless on this knee.
At one point, if Douglas is able to get up to his feet, will even be able to stand.
It's absolutely terrorizing him with that spinning hold, just brutal on that knee. It's amazing that the resilience that Shane Douglas is showing. Sebastian, you'd complain about me being this brutal on him if I was in there.
Yeah, most likely we would.
No, except in this case, it's all within the rules.
And now Shane Douglas kicks off Sebastian Rose, goes face first into that middle turnbuckle.
I don't know how Shane
I don't know how
Douglas
he's
can
going
even
to be able to
stand.
continue with that knee.
He can't get up.
He can't stand.
He can't get up.
He can't stand.
He can't get up with that knee.
You're going to have a hard time winning a match if you can't stand up.
And now Rose again back into that spinning toe hold.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, look.
Small package,
What?
maybe?
What?
All right.
What? Do we have a new champion?
Or the referee's like, what?
Do we have a new champion?
Yeah, the referee's wondering what's going on, so we're wondering what's going on.
The commissioner said it's time limit.
Time limit.
Really? Time limit draw?
This is a time limit draw. 15-minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to time limit expiration, this match is a draw.
Really?
Sebastian Rose is still the NWA champion.
Well, the fans want 5 more minutes. I'd love to see 5 more minutes, and I'm sure Shane Douglas would just want 1 more second.
I hate time limits.
Oh, look at that knee.
I hate time limits.
You know, sometimes you have a time limit because the TV, they had a 15-minute time limit here. But obviously, looks like Sebastian's taking a little, offense to this.
Where's Angel?
Oh, you hate to
Where's
see
Angel
somebody.
Bailey at? Right down there.
He might have got.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, no!
Oh, right in the. Oh.
That is uncalled for.
Well, I think we actually know where
That is
Sebastian Rose's
absolutely
intentions
uncalled
are.
That is absolutely uncalled for.
Well, I think I answered the question. And it looks like your ass just got franchised.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
You know, I don't want to throw it out there, but that seemed to be a tad unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, thanks for the commentary, Andrew Shane.
After the match,
Went back to
do you think for 1 second that the franchise Shane Douglas is just going to take this?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And what is wrong with Sebastian Rose?
I think he's just frustrated. Sebastian is just frustrated that there was a time limit on the match. Sebastian is just frustrated.
He kept his title.
Yeah, he walks out.
He kept his title.
He walks out the Midwest Heavyweight Champion still.
Yeah, but he was frustrated because, he didn't pin
I
Shane.
believe that with Shane Douglas almost pinning him, it scared him so much to the point to where he was mad that he feels Shane Douglas made him look bad. That's just my feeling.
Oh, if you think for 1 second that the franchise Shane Douglas is going to put up with this, that he's going to take this sitting down.
Oh, you can see that look on
You
his
guys
face
don't
right
know
now.
the franchise Shane Douglas.
Oh, boy, he looks mad.
He is steaming mad.
I don't like that look.
Yeah, the franchise is steaming mad. Sebastian Rose seems to have snapped using that TV time limit to still be able to walk out of here NWA Midwest Heavyweight Champion. There was Shane Douglas leaning over to us. We were trying to get him a microphone. He made it very clear to us, perhaps in some language that we can't use on the broadcast, that he wants a rematch with Sebastian Rose. Now, Norm Wamer is going to go and try and talk with Shane Douglas. Norm's going to head up into the ring. Sometimes this is scary, giving the franchise Shane Douglas a microphone. I don't think the franchise wants to talk. He's mad. We were trying to get a word with him. Again, he expressed to us, Grizzly, that he wants a rematch, but I don't...
Hey, Boomer, I'll tell you what. You know how to fix this. I'll tell you what. I tell you what, you fix this, no time limit match. That's how you fix this.
It might be more than a no time limit match. Franchise is mad. You don't want to make him mad.
He does seem spirited.
Yes, very spirited. Maybe it's good that we weren't able to give him a live microphone. Maybe it's a good thing. All we know is that even though Sebastian Rose is able to walk out, still the NWA Midwest Heavyweight title, he's not done with the franchise because the franchise wants him again, and he wants it to happen soon.
He wants a. Shane just told me he wants a
take an interview,
time limit match. Outside, inside, it don't matter. He's mad.
No, it doesn't.
He doesn't want to get interviewed, but he's yelling, "Get the match signed."
Well, we've got something for our commissioner to work on.
Pleasure. Grizz.
Andy, good pleasure to work with you.
It's Powerbomb Television NWA Championship International Wrestling.
I'm standing here with, I suppose, still the NWA-CIW heavyweight champion.
Still. I love the way you say that. Continue.
Well, your match with the franchise Shane Douglas went to a time limit draw. However, kind of a little confusion.
The time limit on what's been going on here expired long ago. See, Shane Douglas comes to the NWA here in Toledo. The fans look at him with rose-colored glasses. Shane Douglas walks to the ring, and the fans cheer for him with stars in their eyes. They see a 30-year superstar. I see a man who for the past 30 years has proven to be nothing more than a master manipulator, nothing more than a snake in the grass. And what do? To stop a snake in the grass, you cut the snake's head off. Franchise the NWA is now Sebastian Rose.
Hi, I'm Van Envy, and I'm standing here with the franchise Shane Douglas. Shane Douglas, you just had a match with the NWA-CIW heavyweight champion, Sebastian Rose. Went to a time limit, and in this case, kind of a twist of certain things here. He belted you with the championship belt. What's going on?
Not exactly what I had planned for a championship match in NWA. Wasn't exactly certain that Sebastian Rose had that in him. I thought that what we were going to do with this match was put on an NWA old school showcase of wrestling, and instead he goes and takes advantage of an injury and tries to make a jackass out of the franchise. Well, ask Arn Anderson 25 years ago when he beat me and beat me and beat me and beat me, trying to make me give up. You can love me, you can hate me, but I'm not a quitter, and I don't submit. Ask Taz. Ask Sebastian Rose now. I got to take some time to figure my response to this, but I will tell you this, Sebastian Rose. Score one for you. You drew first blood. You made your point. Nice touch at the end with saying you franchised my ass. When I come back to the NWA, Sebastian Rose, best be ready for a war.
As a franchise, Shane Douglas.
Who do you belong to?
Dead Wrestling Society.
What is your objective?
Destroy.
What is your name? Give up? You are now my war child. Coming soon to a ring near you. Crimson like the mask.
But I think fans would see what you said a little bit earlier as a little bit of a startling admonishment that being the top dog is not what motivates you at this point.
No, that's look in our.
I mean, I never thought I would hear the franchise say that.
Well, look, I mean, in the heart of a champion, there's always the hope that you could go on forever. Sadly, we know that's not true. Age catches up with everybody. I don't want to be 50, 55, 60, 60 plus trying to convince fans that I'm still the toughest guy in the world. I proved that pretty definitively for the 23 years I played the franchise, that I was a damn tough character, I was a damn tough wrestler, and was able to complete, in other words, my ass could cash the checks that my mouth wrote. But now, after going on 34 years in the professional wrestling sport, I think I have something to offer to the kids in the dressing room that are looking for direction. When I was a kid in the dressing room, I had Harley Race, Ric Flair, Terry Funk, the whole list of names dressing right across from me. All I had to do was keep my mouth shut and eyes and ears open. The one thing I didn't need was to look for a role model. There was plenty of those. I want to play the role model now, and I think, to me, that's where I could be the top dog. To be the top dog of teaching these kids in the dressing room what it is I learned, sometimes by getting spit in the face and poked in the chest by Bill Watson, bullied by the older wrestlers or whatever else, to make damn sure that I learned. They obviously saw something in me. They didn't just do it to pick on me. They did it because they saw something and wanted to make sure I fulfilled that promise.
But at the same time, you don't want to be the stepping stone. You don't want to be the guy that somebody feels that they have to beat to prove themselves. You just had a NWA Midwest title match with Sebastian Rose, who cheap-shotted you after the match, got right in your face, nose to nose, and said, your ass just got franchised.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't tell me that doesn't fire up the franchise Shane Douglas.
But look, I'm the guy that wrote the book of being crass and in your face, so I'm not going to lose sleep, or go track him down at his house and slice his throat tonight while he's sleeping because he did something that I originated. But that's what I'm looking for. As the reason I'm in the ring right now in the NWA is to lead by example, but to also get a feel for the guys in the ring. I can watch, and by watching you can pick up a good bit, but by being in the ring and feeling and encountering, I can get a much better idea to be able to suggest to the NWA, this guy has it, this guy's getting it, doesn't quite have it yet, and be truthful and honest with it. So that's more the reason I'm in the ring. Look, what Sebastian did, like I said, it'd be sort of disingenuous of me to sit here and say, oh, that SOB, I'm going to go out and kill him because he did something that I did a million times in my career. Kudos to him. I mean, that is what our sport's about, being in your face, being larger than life. On a personal level, sure, I'm not thrilled with it, but on a professional level, my purpose of being here in the NWA, that I had to spend a considerable amount of time talking to the powers that be to convince them that I wasn't here with subterfuge on my mind or trying to finish a job that I started 20 years ago, 19 years, whatever it was, with the throwdown of the belt. At the time that happened, one thing that happens with the passage of time, every day that you tear off the calendar is different from the day before. Every month, the month before. Every year changed from the year before. Every decade changed from the decade before. The parameters of where the wrestling business is today are completely different than they were in 1993. Yes, there are some similarities, but the landscape is much different. I don't yet see another company stepping up to grab the brass ring like ECW did, but I believe the NWA can be that. If anybody has the right to lay claim to being the wrestling company, and as a sidebar, before I go any further, I'm the guy that has been preaching for 10 years, we need to bring the sport of professional wrestling back. We've for God's sakes, we've seen the Hardys dive off the top of the Titantron. We've seen people set on fire. We've seen tables and chairs, people falling off the scaffolding. We've seen every cartoon character possibly that you could conceive of. What more can we do in the mode of entertainment? My argument would be it's not very entertaining, and what we have to do is go back to the future. The one thing that nobody's tried for the last 10 years, as our sport has gone like this, ratings-wise, attendance-wise, dollar-wise, profit-wise. The one thing that nobody has tried is professional wrestling. I talk to the fans every weekend, Norm, when I go out. Last weekend in Germany, the weekend before that in England, every weekend in this country. Every single fan I've talked to in the last several years has said the exact same thing, that it's not about them coming back. It's not a question of whether they're going to watch Vince or not, TNA or not. They're not. They're not. They've turned their backs on it. They've walked away. They're not buying into the sports entertainment crap. But they also then finish up by saying, if I could see something like old NWA, old UWF, old ECW, I'd be back to the table again. So with that said, it's as obvious to me as the nose on my face what needs to be done. What better place to do it? You could recreate the wheel. We could go start a company from scratch and say, okay, we're going to build a company that's a wrestling company. You have the NWA that every wrestling fan universally identifies as the wrestling company. Build on that. We have the launch pad here with this. Now let's see what we can do with it, if we can.
All right, I have two questions left. One about you, one about the NWA. The one about you is if the edge that you wrestled with in the past is what made you the success that you were.
Yeah.
Does that edge still exist? And if it doesn't, do you run the risk of getting hurt in the ring?
Absolutely, but the edge, I don't have to yell and scream to prove that the edge is there. I think the very fact that Sebastian Rose did what he did, capitalized on an existing injury, and then afterwards dotted the I by knocking me down with the belt. I think if you ask Sebastian Rose in his head at that second, he realized the edge is still there. But I'm maybe not explaining it properly. I don't feel that I have anything to prove to go out. If I would have gone out and beaten Sebastian Rose in that match, if I would have gone out and beat everybody I've ever wrestled from this point forward, there's really, the wins column in my career is so much larger than the loss column in my career. I've lost my share of matches, and they're not fun. But it's not about that to me. Some guys, keep a book and they can tell you exactly what the number is at this stage of their career. I have no idea what the number is. But I'd be willing to bet that the wins column is vastly larger than the loss column. The belts that I've won, so numerous that I can't even keep track of in my head. I have to go back and look in the books to see what is there and what's not there. It's not about that to me anymore because I could win the belt again, and that would make me a 4-time world champion, or 5 if you count the first NWA. But you see, to me, I started out as a snot-nosed kid in New Brighton, Pennsylvania, with just a dream of having a professional wrestling match. I never planned on a career, was never so pretentious to believe to be a champion, would have never, ever could have possibly guessed a multiple-time world champion, multiple-time world tag team champion, multiple-time lesser company champions. That was something I didn't plan on. So for me, I don't measure my success in what happens in the ring on any given night. If I lost every match from this point to the time I hang the boots up, I still think the wins column will be much larger. But don't take what I would consider maturity, that I'm not out here yelling and screaming and doing all the franchise stuff that I did for all those years, as being that I no longer possess the edge or the fire. It's there. I'm just, to me, I want to focus it a little more rather than just burning down the forest. I'd rather focus it like a laser beam to try to help the NWA get from where it is now, trying to restart this entity back up and bring it back. These kids in the dressing room have every right to have a career that I had, and I'm sure, like me, they're not so pretentious to dream of any kind of future. But 20 years from now, you should be talking to Sebastian Rose or any of these other guys in the back here about the career that they've had and what they're trying to do at that stage of the career, and I think we can do that with the NWA.
When you see, though, last question, that the NWA, with New Japan Wrestling, New Japan wrestlers coming over here, also NWA goes over to Osaka and sells out arenas, does that give you hope that the NWA is on its way back?
Look, the one thing the franchise has never done is chased unicorns in my dreams. It was never about anything unrealistic. What I'm saying with the NWA and the potential that I see here is in large part based on its history, but also based in large part on what I see both as the landscape of professional wrestling today, but also the potential that the NWA possesses right now. Every one of those fans that I've spoken to over the last several years, every one of them mentioned the NWA. They would mention other companies too, but they've all mentioned the NWA. I firmly believe that with this talent in this dressing room and other talent that's out there floating around and soon to be floating around because of the closing down of one of the companies, I firmly believe that if that talent is all pulled into the same dressing room and built on the platform that the fans identify as being the wrestling platform, then we give the fans wrestling, and people get in the ring and wrestle a competitive wrestling match, not dance a scripted wrestling storyline, but wrestle a competitive wrestling match in front of the fans. I have no doubt that those fans will come back to the table. The fans that have left us for the UWF, the MMA, and shoot fighting, or whatever other form of sports entertainment they've gone to. I've said this, so many times. I feel like I'm, paraphrasing myself, but those wrestling fans haven't been sucked up by UFO. To my knowledge, I hope there hadn't been a rapture that we got left behind. They're still there, and they're still dying to see Ricky Steamboat versus Ric Flair. Unfortunately, they can't get that because Ricky Steamboat's retired and Flair's soon to be retired. He should have already. But they want to see two guys with that kind of a skill set doing what Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair did all those years ago. If we bring that to them, I can't fathom in my mind how it could be a failure. And again, to wrap it up, I believe that the NWA possesses all of those because of the connection to the Japan. And you mentioned Japan because the Japanese have a very strong sense of identity to past. And they know the past history. What I'm talking about, the Japanese fans understand the NWA history, and they know that with that they can reach back and capture some of that magic to put forward and build to the future. If we do that, I don't know how we can fail. No guarantee of success, but much greater chance of success if we build on those things, all the stuff that we're talking about.
Well, I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you. Thank you for doing the interview. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, brother.
In NWA Championship International Wrestling. You've always been one of my favorite performers, and now you're one of my favorite people.
Thank you. Now let's just hope that a year 5 from now we look back at this interview and say, hey, remember that day we were talking about? I believe we can. Thank you, brother.
I hope we can.
Good talking
Very
to
much
you.
so. Franchise Shane Douglas. All right, more coming up here on Powerbomb Wrestling, the superstars of NWA Championship International Wrestling.